What is up, everybody? Welcome to Mirror Matchup Monday, even though it is Saturday and this might be posted on Sunday. Mirror Matchup Monday has a cool little ring to it, though, so that is what we are going to call it, and that's what we're going to stick with. We have ourselves a little throwback here to, what is it, I think season 2 or something here. I went back and downloaded some of Mr. Gangster Jose. No, fuck. Can't believe I just said Gangster Jose. I meant to say Gangster Brain, but then I remembered Gangster is a clan and I got confused with Jose. But we got Africa TV Brain, one of the worst intros so far, calling it Mirror Matchup Monday when it's not Monday, and then accidentally confusing Brain with the pub scrub that is Jose. So yeah, hopefully this cast goes a little bit better from here on out, because I just butchered that intro. But we are not going to restart because we've come too far here. We're 1 minute and 7 seconds into this game and there's just no turning back. So we're going to troop through this and see how she goes. We got Silent Zim down here, and he will be up against Mr. Brain here. This is the Zerg vs. Zerg matchup. It was R vs. R, so neither of these players know what they are up against, and they will have to scout and react accordingly as this game continues on here. Both overlords have opted for different pathways, different strategies with their overlord here. Zim went to check for that mid build to see if there's any PvP, and Brain more aggressively with his overlord is going to actually scout one of the locations to see if he can find his enemy. Unfortunately for him, he is now going to go back out to the middle of the map instead of going straight over to the left, which would be the more regular path, and he would be scouting his opponent and be able to keep his overlord alive for a long time while also getting all of that valuable information here. We see that second hatchery going up for both players behind their minerals here, and a quicker gas for Brain here. So Brain going to possibly opt for some Ling speed, some kind of tech aggression, while Zim going to build a second hatchery behind his minerals here. Must be a older school thing to build these hatcheries back here. You don't see it as often anymore nowadays. This one is here to get that gas a little bit quicker in case there's any dingle-dangle and drones here. The first Lings are out for Brain, both only opting for a single sunken. Actually, as I say that, Zim throws up his second sunken. So Brain going to spread his Lings all over the place and is going to locate his opponent. Now both players are going to know the matchup here, so we are going to see how they choose to play this. The red Zergling is also going to scout where Brain is. That gas is going to go down. That is how Zim is going to react, and Brain, like his gosu usual self, is going to find a way to slip in here without even getting a sunken attack off of here, and he is going to get some major drone kills already. Zim is going to try to get some stack attack going on here. He did build a sunken colony that is slowly morphing in the back, while also building more Zerglings to defend this, so a possible overreaction now while also taking substantial damage. You can see Brain up to 14 drones already, is just going for a quick Hydra speed here, knowing that he has done substantial damage already just with those first 6 Zerglings that he did build, that he would have built regardless of the matchup here. And he looks like he's just going to go for a 3 hatchery Hydra here, already producing 2 Hydras here while also keeping these Zerglings alive here. Trying to pick off any drones that do come from that top here. He did have an opportunity to do that, but I think he was just on a control move there just while those that drone briefly run by. We do see the 6 Zerglings here for Red trying to chase down these initial Zerglings from Brain here, but Brain is going to keep them alive, going to continue to scout here and just monitor exactly what the Zerg is doing. The Red Zerg has now caught up in drones here, but that doesn't matter because Brain has just been massing up Hydras here. His Hydra speed is almost done. I wonder if he's going to wait for the Hydra range or just a substantial number of Hydras here. Layer going down for Zim, so Zim is going to go for the Hydra or the Mutalisk counter, which is pretty good in ZVZ, but I don't know if he is going to be able to stay alive long enough. He did lose an Overlord. I didn't see exactly where the Overlord went down, but he is supply stuck now, which is not going to help his cause here. These Hydras are now out. Only, what, that 7 Hydras out here. I think it was 8 there, but he did lose 1 here. Gonna micro nicely versus those Zerglings, and going to reinforce here. The first sunken colony is going to go down. More Zerglings are going to come out here to try to help reinforce this, but looks like Brain does have just the perfect amount of Hydralisk here. No range, but they just have that Hydra speed, which is going to be able to pick off those 3 sunkens. Going to pick off another Overlord. Actually going to stop attacking that to pick off a couple of these Zerglings that just spawned. And just, you can see that these little things that he does that just make him so hard to stop here. Up to 400 APM here, microwing away here, trying to get some sunken colonies up here at home, trying to get us around with these Zerglings. The Spire is almost done here. Looks like he may have enough Zerglings to kill off of this first bunch of Hydras, but more reinforcements are arriving. Another Overlord getting picked off here. Hydras continuing to be produced from Brain, and going to pick off that hatchery. Not going to super overcommit here. Does not want to lose anything. Knows he has a substantial lead. Just has to wait for some more reinforcements. Get himself in a good position. And yeah, just finish off this red player. The Zerglings are going to try to get themselves a surround. But nicely microed here by Brain. Taking very minimal losses versus that big Zergling surround here. And picking off another Overlord. Another Sunken is going to go down as well, and he is going to be in range of this hatchery, out of sight from that Sunken colony. The Spire is not going to be completed in time. I think this main is going to go down, and Brain is going to pick him up himself. A super quick victory here. GG is called by Zim, and there we go. Brain just off of, what was that, a 4 hatchery Hydra build, 2 gas. Very gosu stuff here, making quick work of Zim, not letting him live a single second longer than he needs to. And yeah, just always mind-blowing high-level gameplay from Brain, the pro player, crushing the best Koreans in the world, and then coming over to SCW for a couple seasons just to crush us regular Joes here. And yeah, that is going to be our first CVZ for Mirror Matchup Monday on Saturday, possibly Sunday. GG, guys. We'll see you in that next game. After, of course, we do take a little quick gander at the score screen. Game number 2, another ZVZ, random versus random. This does not, it's not really random versus random, because if it was, we would see more of these matchups, but they are just so rare to see. Brain played like 100 or so games this season, the season that I'm downloading these from, and only 3 of them were mirror matchup Zerg versus Zerg. So we shall see. Not many people have a ton of experience, as it just doesn't come up very often. But yeah, okay, we'll see. We have a Brain here in the middle left position as a Zerg here, going to send his Overlord up to the top, which is in the incorrect position. And we have Yak Sakya. I don't know if he is Korean or who this guy is either, but he will be Zerg in the bottom left, and he was at least sending his Overlord in the proper position, but he has stopped his journey a little short of the prize here. Both players going to go for that hatchery at the front, as you pretty much have to do that if you are up against a Terran and a Protoss. It helps substantially keeping you alive and not allowing the opponent to fill up your base with cannons or turrets or bunkers or any of that stuff that you just don't want that close to your main. This will buy you enough time. Of course, that is pretty standard stuff. I don't really know why I am explaining that, as I would assume you all know that, because every single Zerg in the world starts with their hatchery first at their choke. Brain, once again, once he scouts that spot, going to send that Overlord back out in the middle. He does want to see if the enemy is coming and being able to buy himself some time to react accordingly. Second hatchery for our orange Zerg is going to go down a little bit quicker than Brain here. Brain letting his hatchery, or his minerals, pile up a little bit there. Don't know what he was focusing on, as he does have his 400 APM right now, but a little late on that second hatchery. Not too big of a deal, but he's also going to throw down that gas. So it looks like he does do this regardless of the matchup. He just likes to throw down that quick gas ASAP, just to be able to tech up accordingly. The orange player going to get his gas not too much later down, but is going to get that third hatchery up here a little bit quicker once again from Brain, but is going to be a little bit slower on that gas here. Brain did send all of those Zerglings out on the map to scout his opponent. He is going to locate it, and now they both are going to know exactly what they are up against. He is going to once again try to get this Zergling run by, but Yakasaka has a better position sunken, and he does have some Zerglings of his own to counter this. But still, 4 Zerglings are going to get by. Only 2 here to defend here. So Brain going to try to snipe down some of these drones here. Even making them pull here is going to get himself a nice little advantage here. I'm going to pick off one drone here that was getting that gas here. And yeah, just a pretty nice micro from Yakasuka. Has 200 APM, and he's finally going to pick off those Zerglings here. So not taking substantial damage, but Brain now opting to go for that Zergling speed here, and he is pooling up a bunch of Zerglings. So he is definitely going to go for the Zergling kill while going into a Mutas. He's going to have a lot of Zerglings on the map. He's sending them out, and actually going to be able to pick off a drone, surprisingly enough. I don't know what that drone was doing out there. Possibly just scouting, but the Zerglings of Orange are out of position, and Brain is going to get a pretty good surround and pick off a couple of Zerglings. Going to try to pick off the sunken colony while also countering the Zerglings. The orange and brown are pretty hard to see, but it looks like he is going to have more than enough Zerglings to pick off this single sunken colony and all of those Zerglings, making that look a lot easier than what it should be. And now he is going to have a free reign here on the orange Zerg here, going to go after the sunken colony. The drones are getting pulled over to stack, and he did build a whole ton of Zerglings. He did build some Zerglings himself here, so it looks like he actually is not going to die. He's going to be able to hold on, but he is going to be behind. No, he's actually ahead of drones here. So Yakasuka just doesn't have the Zergling speed here. Everything else isn't the worst here for him. He is going to try to defend here, but Brain has incredible Zergling micro, and he's going to take that battle pretty well while also keeping himself alive. Orange does have an Overlord in Brown's base. He is going to see that Spire is building and knows that he is going to have to get something done. The Zerglings do run by, pick off another sunken colony. Drones are going to have to be pulled once again, but we are seeing a counterattack from Yakasuka. Not going to be able to run by. He did want to run by, and he did take a fair amount of Zergling death there, trying to do that. Continuing to build Zerglings. The Zerglings do not have speed, so they aren't nearly as mobile as Brain's Zerglings. Sunken did get thrown back at home, so Brain was perhaps a little bit worried that huge number of Zerglings could have done something. Also worried that Zergling's speed could possibly be on the way. Yakasuka building a lot of Zerglings though right now, and there's 6 mutas on the way for Brain. Brain once again just teching off of these 3 hatcheries, going to finally get down that 4th hatchery here now that he has himself in a good position, but just 2 sunkens only, and he has stopped Zergling production. He is rallying his overlords right here too. Don't know if that is on purpose, but you have to assume it is with Brain. Hydralisk going down, and some creep colonies going to go down around the main for those spores. But these mutas are going to be the muta numbers are going to continue to grow, and Brain has incredible muta micro here. Finally going to send some of those overlords away here as he picks off some of these frontal defense of Orange is Zerg here. Mutus picking off just the sunken colonies, and his Zerglings get a very nice surround as they are quicker and therefore more deadly than brown, slow Zerglings. And he is going to be able to take over this choke fairly easily with not much resistance. And now he's going to bring 3 drones in here. I feel like that is going to be building some sunken colonies around the base. There's some sunken, yeah, I think he's definitely going to be building some sunken colonies here. So Brain just doing everything so ghostly. He has Zerglings that outnumber the Hydras. His Mutas are just going to be picking off hatcheries now. Yakasuka is trying to build Zerglings, but now there are sunken colonies being built inside of his base here, and I don't think he's going to have an opportunity to defend this. Even if he does somehow kill off the Zerglings, the Mutas and Sunkens are going to be deadly, and the Sunkens are now up. Yakasuka pulling up the drones to try to counter these drones, or these Sunken colonies here, but Sunkens are pretty good, especially with Mutas and Zergling. A whole hell of a ton of drones go down, and Yakasuka is going to run out of minerals eventually, or buildings, because there is just no chance that he defends this. Brain making it look easy once again. It's not gonna get a GG there. Yakasuka does not like those BM sunken colonies, and Brain is going to take yet another mirror matchup here in very gosu fashion, completely different than that first one. And you can just see that he does react to what he scouts. He doesn't just go in with a blind strategy. He kind of has a standard build that he does, and then he just kind of morphs. It morphs and adjusts it as he gets that information and what his opponent is doing. This time going for the Muta Zergling instead of that Hydra, and some gosu sunken colonies to follow it up. Very nicely done, as per usual, from Mr. Africa TV Brain. Check out the score screen before we jump into another rare Zerg vs. Zerg by Mr. Brain. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have Mr. Kangaroo up to the plate this time, going to be up against Mr. Africa Brain as the white Zerg in the middle position, Kangaroo going to be in the bottom right here. Once again, he is going to, as he likes to consistently do, send his Overlord to scout his opponent, and finally in this game number 3 he is going to be successful. And this, I worry about Kangaroo. If you are scouted this early by Africa Brain TV, he is just going to get those Korean calculations going in his mind, and he is going to find a way to absolutely destroy you. And probably the quickest game we have seen yet. I'm absolutely worried about Mr. Kangaroo here. Unfortunately for him, he is at least going to have Brain throw up his hatchery at the front. He wasn't scouted that quickly, but now he is. He's going to see that creep colony, and he is even going to escape. So Kangaroo may potentially not even know that Overlord isn't. I'm actually going to guess that he 100% did not see that Overlord. But luckily for him, this may actually scout the hatchery, or he may just miss it. I don't think he is going to know, so he's not even going to know that it's a Zerg versus Zerg. Brain gonna throw down that spawning pool and that quick gas as per usual. He is also probably going to scout that Overlord once again or that front hatchery without him knowing. Being very, very sneaky. Yeah, he definitely doesn't know because this Overlord is not adjusting. Finally, this Overlord may actually see the Overlord of Brains. Yeah, okay, so he should have seen that. He should know now that it's Zerg versus Zerg. But still not sending his Overlord down in the proper position, so I'm not sure still to this moment if Kangaroo knows exactly what's going to go on here. Brain does have his second hatchery going down here. Don't think he's even going to bother. He was pooling up his larva for those 6 Zerglings that he does love to get out. Kangaroo going to throw down that sunken colony. He does need to get that done ASAP, and he is getting 2 Zerglings out. He is now 100% going to know, as Brain is going to have his Overlord inside of the base, and he is going to know that he is up against a Zerg for sure. And we do see the drones coming out once again, so it looks like he is going to try to once again take over the choke of the kangaroo with some sunken colonies of his own, pulling out another drone, feeling like he is going to pull that out there. We do see the drones getting stacked really late here. The sunken colony already goes down. I feel like this is not the best option here, but he knows that he is in trouble here. He does, luckily for him, actually pick off 2, possibly 3 Zerglings here, but the sunken colony is going to go down, so he is going to get sunken rushed once again, but it may not even be a matter as he picks off the only 2 remaining mining drones here. He does have 13 drones, but that may not be enough here. It's definitely not going to be enough. As the Brain is going to pick off that spawning pool, going to have that sunken pick away at the main here, and he is going to have this sunken colony completed before, while also outnumbering the drones, and Kangaroo is going to leave in shame in under 4 minutes. So yeah, that is tough when you're scouted that early by Brain. No matter what matchup you are, it's tough. And yeah, Brain just going to make absolutely quick work of Mr. Kangaroo. Poor Kangaroo is going to get absolutely donered. And yeah, that is going to complete today's ZVZ video. I'm going to cast a TVT, African TVTs, and Africa Brain PvP games as well, as it is mirror matchup weekend. The mirror matchup weekend. So it's going to be all mirror matchups by Mr. Africa TV Brain. So that will conclude our first ZVZ, one of the most rare matchups. Gonna do TVT next and then PvP. So stay tuned. More Tony G coming at ya. I see you guys on that StarCraft World forums giving me compliments. You have rejuvenated me and inspired me to post up some more vids, continuing to grind out that YouTube StarCraft not dead game yet. GG guys, hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next one.